What's poppin', y'all? A lot of these haters owe DDG an apology. I wonder if they're going to give it to him because DDG just beat Halle Bailey. And some people are going to say, oh, like, why? What happened? Well, earlier in the year, you guys remember that she took his kid, Halo, ran off, and she also had a bunch of weird reactions when he had him at Kai Cenat's Mafiathon 2 last year. And one of DDG's strong fans was posting stuff like this online that was getting a lot of engagement, a female fan of DDG's, saying, looks like DDG and Halle still cannot reach a parental agreement. This was in August. Halle Bailey's fighting for full and sole custody of Halo, where DDG would have no rights to Halo. DDG wants 50-50, time shared with both parents. Why strip a man from wanting to be a dad? So clearly it shows that DDG was like, listen, I'll take 50-50. I'm not going to try to fight you to get full custody. And she's like, no, I'm going to get full custody. And you're not going to get to see him ever. And that tweet got a lot of positive engagement. Like, you also had people bringing up the family history of Halle Bailey's father. So, like, you go back to, this was around same time, August. So, by logic, once you take father out of their kid life, the grandfather usually steps in. Halle Bailey's father is Douglas Bailey. It can't be this Douglas, right? So, Halo would be stuck with an abusive family who enables abusers. And they expect DDG to be okay with it. That's her father, Halle Bailey's father, catching a DV charge. And then another individual, and those tweets both got a ton of engagement, and another individual would go on to talk about, oh, Halle Bailey was quick to bring up Dub's incident in her court document. The incident with Dub is when they were at DreamCon and somebody kept calling DDG doo-doo garbage, and Dub walked up to him and they got into a physical altercation after that. So she was trying to say, hey, DDG's very violent and dangerous. Look at the people around him and look at this incident that just happened. That's proof of that. And then he says, but forgot to add her dad was beating the ish out of her mama. She really is her daddy's daughter. And this was very, very wild. So I think at this point in time, a lot of the tide started to turn towards DDG's side with a lot of women, which is what Halle Bailey was trying to win sympathy from, saying, why are you trying to keep a father that wants to be active and present in their kid's life away when there are so many different situations where the dad doesn't even want to be involved and the mom wants some help, 50-50, whatever the case may be. And they felt like she was just trying to paint him as a villain. Well, now it's come out that she dropped the restraining order, and the restraining order was based on her claiming that he attacked her and brutalized her and like banged her head and broke her tooth. And now she's agreeing on custody. And it says here in this TMZ article, it appears the olive branch DDG extended to Halle Bailey earlier this month may be working because they both agreed to drop their DV order requests against one another. So the reason that DDG put up his DV order request was in response to hers. And he was actually damaged. He had more damage than she had. In a new stipulation filed by the parties and signed off on by the judge, the exes worked out temporary custody issues for their 1-year-old while agreeing to dismiss their respective DVRO, that's DV restraining order requests. They each reserve the right to resurrect the DV claims in the event of any future incident, but it's a start to show they're trying to move past their differences. As for custody, they've worked out a temporary arrangement that gives DDG custody on Wednesdays and certain weekends. This doesn't really seem like 50-50, but hey, you know, it is what it is. The new plan is a huge leap for DDG and Halle, who went from gushing about their love before their little one was born to ripping each other apart in court filings. Oh, and part of the agreement states they can't publicly disparage each other anymore or post Halo on social media, which was another contentious point in their falling out. I think this is, and he talked about this on one of his tracks off the album Moose, 17 More Years. I think this is a tough situation for DDG, and I think DDG's fans still won't be too happy about it because the kid was part of his content. It's part of his story. Like, DDG's family is part of his content. And like I said, he shared a lot of his life. Now, he doesn't have to share private details, but the kid's already been there on social media, and the fact that he can't be on there now means that whenever DDG is with the child, then he will be unable to work because DDG working is him being online. So I think maybe that's why DDG took less time than we expected, because like, what, Wednesday, that's 3 days a week, right? That's about 50-50, Wednesday, Saturday, and Sunday. I do think that what caused Halle Bailey to pull back is DDG agreeing not to disparage her on social media because she realized the pressure that mounted on top of her, and she was not able to take. Even Rock Nation decided to devote more of their resources to having people chase around the world academics affiliates, going all the way to Australia with some private investigators and trying to get everyone in a deposition, including Aiden Ross. So I think they just said, like, hey, Halle Bailey, we would help you with this, like, PR campaign against DDG, but, you know, we're focused on, so we've got bigger fish to fry, or to attempt to fry. And we've got this rollout for this Megan Thee Stallion song that did nothing very fast. Like, she dropped that song, her fans talked about it, and the only time I heard their fans talk about it was saying they didn't like it for the first day. Music video and all that. With the rollout, with a relationship. I wouldn't say it's a fake relationship. Nah, it's kind of... Yeah, I don't think Klay Thompson would fake something for this long. But it definitely is a PR-based relationship, that's for certain. So for DDG, I think Halle she suffered, like, for example, like them bringing up the parents. And you know how insecure Halle Bailey was or is about her own appearance. If people are bringing up facts about her and her family members and following her every move and, oh, she's with a guy here, this is what she's doing there, she's not armed for that. Halle Bailey does not have a rabid psychotic. I wouldn't say psychotic. She does not have a rabid stan base that really want to see her win in the same way that DDG does. Like, she has people that are maybe sympathetic towards her, right? Like, maybe shade room. They're like, oh, really? I hope she gets her custody or something like that. But they're not going to go out there and dig up every single clip of DDG to try to, you know, make him look really bad, which is, it's difficult to do. Like, there's almost nothing with DDG, especially with other chicks, where he looks even remotely rude, violent. Like, he's quite catering. But unfortunately, unless anything changes or unless they got an opportunity, he definitely got it for sure. The fans that loved Halo being a part of the content that DDG and his family brought, looks like that's coming to an end. The sad part about this, though, and I don't wish for this to happen, but it just feels like this is bound to happen, is that this is the beginning of a long, hard battle. Like, I think she is just going to continuously wield, like, oh, I'm going to put on a restraining order again if you don't behave in this way. And she's going to try to use that against him behind the scenes, because whatever happened during and after their relationship, mind you. So it wasn't that they broke up and they separated and things were, like, chill. Even after they broke up, she was trying to, like, use certain things against him and try to make him be with her. She was quite manipulative. So if she was doing that after they broke up and was trying to keep them together, her and DDG, that is, because she didn't want him hanging out with other chicks, especially because she felt like other chicks were, I guess, like, more attractive than her. I don't know. Even though DDG chose her over all of the other chicks from his past. But because she was doing that back then, she has not changed as a person. She is certainly the same exact person. And it's almost like DDG's now walking on eggshells, in that something might just pop up all of a sudden, and then she says, you know what, screw it, I'm going to take the kid now. So it's a tough situation for DDG. He really, really, really loves that kid, so I'm glad that he gets to spend time with him. But yeah, let me know what y'all think in the comments. Like, subscribe, and hit the notification bell if you enjoyed, and I'm going to see you on the next one.